All right, so the backlog, as my title shows, what is a backlog? Why do we have it? When can we get through it? So let's go over some of the few W's. Not gonna do all 5 W's because you don't need to know who and where. Obviously, who is us and where is playing video games, and now in 2023 and beyond, it's wherever you want to with all the different platforms coming out. But what is a backlog? So a backlog is whatever games you have that you have purchased or on a streaming service like Game Pass that you haven't gotten around to playing. Backlogs can date from older than what you are. Like, for instance, in my backlog, I still have Zelda 2 or Link, right? The second Zelda game. I don't think I'm ever gonna play it, but it's a game that maybe one day I'll get to. So that's part of the backlog. It's something that is a game that you want to play, that you have put money aside for, but yet you haven't played it yet. So I have a huge backlog. I actually kind of have a little bit of a problem. Yeah, this potato's got a little bit of a spending problem when it comes to video games and backlogs. I spend way more money on games than I can have time to play. Like, I fully intend to one day play these games, but they keep coming and coming and coming. For instance, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. While I'm making this video, it came out about 2 weeks ago, and I'm still playing Wind Waker. Right now I'm playing Wind Waker. That's my game because that's my backlog. I have made a point to not push on any further on Zelda games until I at least complete Wind Waker and not Tears of the Kingdom, Twilight Princess, another T1. Once I finish Twilight Princess, then maybe I'll move on to Tears of the Kingdom, but we'll see. But I own all the Zelda games. I haven't bought Tears of the Kingdom yet because I foresee it going on sale before I'm ready to buy it. Plus that $70 price purchase is a little high for me, but that's neither here nor there. So that is a backlog. A backlog is it's the amount of video games you have in your back pocket, right? I have stacks and stacks of games that I have yet to play. I also call it my pile of shame. Games that I bought and I haven't played yet, and it could be a physical or it could be digital. So if I have a bunch of games on my Epic game account and also my Steam profile that I haven't finished, like Black Mesa. I'm about 3/4 of the way through Black Mesa. I've been streaming that here and there. Kind of fell off Black Mesa a little bit, but that's on my backlog, right? So that is a backlog. And so why does a backlog exist? Why do we get backlog? So for me, like I said earlier, it's because I feel like I have a problem almost. Like, I see a game kind of on sale or a game I think might go up in price soon, and I want to buy it up. I want to buy it up real quick. So now I have it. Just for instance, I bought Half-Life 2 on the Xbox, even though I already have it digitally on PC. Also at the same time, I'm like, oh wait, don't they have the orange box? So I bought the orange box again, which comes with Half-Life 2, Portal, Team Fortress 2, and Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Half-Life 2 Episode 2. It's a complete Half-Life 2 series, but that's on Xbox 360. So again, that's another game, basically about a duplicate, and I do plan on playing through both of them. It's just another place for me to play the same game, but I've added to my backlog. Other things that I added was the BioShocks. I bought the BioShock trilogy. I've only completed or finished, I finished the storyline of BioShock, the original one, years ago. But why I have the backlog is because I keep seeing collections or a game that I think is going to go up in price in the near future, and so I buy it. You know, I'm a man in my mid-30s. I have a fairly good income. I'm not rich by any means whatsoever, but I have a job that supports me in buying these games. Now, if you ask my wife, she's not too happy all the time when I'm buying games, but I have tailored myself to slow that down. So another thing I would do is jump on eBay, and I would think of a game. I'd peruse until I found somebody selling a good copy of that game for a fairly decent price. I message that seller, hopefully getting the price down, and typically I get $4 or $5 off, and so then I feel obligated to buy it. Since that seller brought that price down for me specifically, I feel like, okay, I need to buy it. So that's how the backlog gets bigger, is you're buying more games than you're playing. And when you have a full-time job, a family, it's very difficult to get through your backlog. So let's talk about how we can achieve to get our backlog down, like less of a backlog, get through all these games, right? And not feel like we have to play them, but so we can play them. So there's a couple things I want to talk about here. It's when can we get through it? So our backlog is always growing, if you like it or not. Just like I said with Tears of the Kingdom, another Zelda game came out, but I haven't finished the previous like 3. And that's my fault for not really playing Zelda back in the day. And I recently played through Ocarina of Time over the winter of 2022 to 2023. And it took me a while to play because I don't have all that much time to play. That's neither here nor there. Actually, no, that is exactly there, because if I don't have the time to play it, then my backlog grows. But your backlog is always going to grow because new games are coming out. I don't see anybody having all the time in the world and dedicating all their time to just video games to the point where their backlog doesn't grow. So in genres that you're gonna play are probably gonna burn out on you, and you're gonna branch out to other genres, and your backlog is gonna grow. Like for me, it was all first-person shooters. That's all I wanted to play. And so I sat myself down and said, I'm a little burnt out on this. What else can I jump into? And that's when I found adventure games, right? I started playing, what did I fall in love with? Well, Assassin's Creed. I've been a day one acceptor of Assassin's Creed, and so I liked that story-driven game in the third-person view. So then I was like, well, everyone loves Zelda. Let me give Zelda a try. And of course, you know, I got hooked. It's good. I'm really enjoying Wind Waker. And so now my backlog just increased to overnight from all the first-person shooters that I haven't picked up. Like, I don't think I played through Doom 64 yet. It's in my backlog. But now I put all the Zeldas in there. And with that, all the games that are similar to Zelda, those are all on my backlog. All right, so that brings me to my next point. How do we deal with our backlog? I don't think we're ever going to completely get through the backlog unless that's all you do and your life is video games and you somehow get paid for it. Good for you. The guys are out there. Absolutely. Like, I hope you enjoy it, but I don't think I ever want video games to be my main job. I want it to stay a hobby, not a full-time job. But how do we deal with it? Us normal people, okay, don't get offended, but like, you know, the guys who have a normal 9-to-5 job like myself and a family who barely gets time to play, only when my kids are asleep. How do we deal with it? Well, what I did a few times, I played what my friends were playing. So for instance, Far Cry 5 came out, and well, shortly after it came out, my buddies and I picked it up, and every night I'd go home, I'd play a couple hours. I really got into that game, I really liked it. The next morning, I'd go into work, and we'd all talk about Far Cry 5. And so that really got me into that game. It sucked me in even more. I was like, oh hey, if Dave's playing this game, then I should play a little bit. I stayed up a little longer, and I got through that game. I got really involved and more in depth in the game. So a good way we can handle it is play what our friends are playing, and so we don't feel like we're missing out, and we feel like we're getting through a game at the same time as somebody else. It might not be what all the guys on YouTube are talking about, or all the gaming networks, if there are any left, once G4 is gone. But it's a way that you can feel like you're together, like you're part of a group playing the same thing. So another way we can deal with it is just don't buy any more games. Like, I guess it's still, your backlog's still growing, you're just not buying the game, so you don't feel obligated to play it. So I haven't spent money on Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna bring it up over and over in this video just because that's the recent thing out right now. But since I haven't put money into Tears of the Kingdom, I don't feel as if I'm wasting my time not playing it. I hope people can understand what I'm saying. Because I have not invested anything into Tears of the Kingdom, other than my own interest, I don't feel like I'm missing out. So I can handle not having that game in my backlog, because as soon as I buy it, it's just gonna sit on my shelf. You know, I'm not gonna play it right away. All right, another way we can deal with it is when we pick up that game that's been in our backlog, for instance, me playing Wind Waker, don't get distracted. Try to get through that game. Like for instance, when I played Ocarina of Time, I put it down once, and then I think I picked something else up for a little bit of time, and I told myself, no, you need to finish Ocarina of Time to get it out of your backlog. So I devoted myself into playing it. I streamed it as much as I could. my family took a vacation that I wasn't able to go on due to work. So I stayed back, and I didn't have the kids for a couple nights. So I was able to play 4 or 5 hours at night and really push through that game. And that helped. And I feel a lot better about getting through Ocarina of Time. Now I can say I can participate in these Zelda talks now that I've played like the golden child of the franchise. And so try to stick with the game. If you just don't like playing a game, if like you have it and you don't want to play it, well, move on to something else. But kind of just check that off of your backlog. Like, you shouldn't feel bad for not liking a game and moving on. And so even if you did play a game and put it down, don't get discouraged. It's okay to pick that game up later on, do a quick refresher. Like, you don't have to start from the beginning, but like jump on YouTube and just do like quick refreshers to where you're at. Try not to get any spoilers, which is going to be pretty difficult if you do that route, the route of using YouTube and getting the recaps. But it is possible to get a quick recap and jump back in where you were. I find the hardest thing for me to figure out are the controls. Say if I'm playing a game like Apex and then the next day I switch to Wind Waker, I do find the controls difficult to pick up, but it takes me 2 or 3 minutes and I'm back into the game. So talking about getting distracted, I have been really distracted with Apex Legends in the past, and I'm actually about to get back into it a little bit more because it sunk its hooks into me again. But for me, the game that I constantly go back to is Apex Legends. There's no story to it. It's all PvP. But I'm not getting myself discouraged and I'm not getting upset. I get so much time a day to play video games before I feel like I'm not getting anything done, or I need to go to bed before I gotta go to work tomorrow. But try and limit that time to certain games. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I have about 1,000 hours in the Apex Legends. I've gotten everything out of that game that I think I can, other than just having fun. That's what video gaming is having fun. If you're not having fun, then there's no point in playing video games. But that's the most important thing there, is to have fun. So you know what? Have fun. No matter what you play, make sure you have fun. And that's all I got for you. I hope you all have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.